In 1991, I remember a lot of talks, even though I was quite young, but I still watched TV and read the newspapers. And I remember that the West was afraid of collapse of the Soviet Union. It was a huge country, and no one could predict, like a nuclear country can spread up, what's going to be with this chaotic environment. So now it's the same situation. Do West really afraid more the collapse of the Russian Federation than the nuclear threats from Putin?
Well, both. I think that people in the West, and you hear this occasionally from some of the intelligence community, they worry about both. They worry that the collapse of Russia would lead to fragmentation, internal conflict, refugees, loose radioactive and fissile materials, loose nuclear weapons, perhaps. So they worry about all of that with disintegration. They also worry about any possible nuclear use. There, we actually have some ability to deter, and I think it's been effective. As you mentioned, strategic nuclear deterrence still works. Russians know it would destroy Russia. And even a tactical nuclear weapon would result in direct response against Russian forces, probably conventional means. They don't want that either. So I think the deterrence of the nuclear use is working. But fragmentation is something people worry about as well, and it is quite possible. And what I would just say about that, if I were speaking to some of these analysts in the West, is you can't control it. You may worry about it, but you can't make it happen and you can't stop it from happening. So don't base your policy on that. Base your policy on what you can actually achieve, which is to help Ukraine defeat Russian forces in Ukraine and reestablish control over its borders.